Good afternoon, guys. I am Delta's Transport Adventures, and welcome to our first video of 2024, where I show you my tour. Now, as you can see, I have just got Microsoft Flight Simulator before 2024 started, and overall I am enjoying it. As you can see, I am flying the default Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner on a British Airways flight from London Heathrow down to Mexico City in the country of Mexico. So, in the meantime, let's do a tour in the cockpit. So, this is the cockpit of the Boeing 787-10. Up here's the overhead panel. You can see all the switches and everything. Here we have the electrical section, which shows the battery, APU gens, external powers, APU starter, AC buses. Over here are the hydraulics, the window heating, the door power. These are the engine start switches. If you guys want to know how I start the engines, because the 787 does not have an air bleed system and uses an electrical system to start the engines, what I do is that I wait until the pushback stops and then I start both of the engines at the same time, meaning I do a dual engine start. My guess is that the 787 is the only airplane that can do a dual engine start, since it does not use a bleed air system. Down here are the anti-ice. These are the fuel pump switches, and if we go further down, these are the lights. Here we have the beacon, nav lights, logo, wing lights, the landing lights, runway turn-offs, taxi, and the strobes. These are the seatbelt signs, which are currently turned off since I am now at cruise. Here we have the air conditioning. Now let's move down to the central part of the cockpit. Pardon me. So, here we have the flight display. As you can see, my cruising speed is Mach 0.88. And my cruising altitude right now is flight level 400. This is the navigation display and the iCast system. Now let's move to the right. This is the landing gear switch. So if I have a look, nope. So as you can see, this is the landing gear switch. So what it does is that it helps put the gear up or down. I put the landing gear up during takeoff just after rotation, and then I put the landing gear down when I am on final, when I am on course on the runway. And if we head down, this is the FMS or the FMC. This is where I do things such as setting up my departure and the arrival legs, including setting up my flight plans. So as you can see, I am flying a 787-10, and this airplane is equipped with the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines. These are the only engines I can get on the 787-10. Other variants such as the Horizon Sim 787-9, I get both the GENX 1Bs and the Trent 1000. Same with the Kuro, but due to the lack of sound packs available for the Kuro, I only fly that with only Gen X. Now let's go up to the throttle section. These are the fuel controls. Here we have the speed brakes. So as you can see, the speed brakes are used and they automatically open at touchdown to keep the plane on the ground. In the middle is the throttle, which controls the engine power. And if we go in front of the throttle, as you can see here, these are the reverse thrust levers. So once the airplane has landed on the ground, I pull up the reverse thrust levers to slow the airplane down on the runway. Now, over here are the flaps, which are used to generate lift. These are useful during takeoff and landing. Now let's go up to the autopilot section. 1 second. Yep, there we go. So these are the NDs. There's the ICAR switch. And here's the autopilot panel. Flight directors are on. This over here is the auto throttle arm. There's the autopilot disengage. This is the LNAV and the VNAV. This is the speed indicators, whether to switch to Mach speed or indicated airspeed. This is the heading select, the vertical speed selection, and the altitude select. This is the approach mode, which is useful to get the plane on course with the runway during landing. So, this is the full cockpit view. Let's do some wing views. Excuse me. There we go. That's better. So, this is the front row wing view. Over here is the view above the wings with the engine view, which is where I usually sit on flights. Either ahead of the wings near the engines, or near the engines above the wings. This is the back row view where I usually avoid, since it can be too loud and very noisy down here. The only times I sit here is during cruise, when I'm waiting for the lavatory. And here's another wing view. This is above the wings, closer to the back rows of the airplane. Alright, in the meantime, let's do some outside views. Excuse me. Well, let me just rotate the camera around. No, I have an idea. There we go. So here is the outside view of the Boeing 787-10. I'm just going to get some views. There we go. So yep, this is the outside view of the Boeing 787-10. I'm just going to change the camera rotation. Let's go to this side over here. Yep, there we go. So, tell me how you guys think it looks from outside. If I also zoom in, the registration is GZB-LA, which stands for Golf Zulu Bravo Lima Alpha. There we go. Yeah, Golf Zulu Bravo Lima Alpha. That's the registration of my plane. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the Boeing 787-10 in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's such a shame there's no interior inside, because if there was, then I would have done a tour inside as well. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is me, I am out, and I shall see you guys later. Goodbye.